So when my heart longs, yeah, for your return, God, remind me of your purpose for me, that goodness follow, that is good. Hear my cry, Lord. When I feel alone, I need to know you're with me, God, yeah. Help me think on the things that are true, Jesus, my lips sing the song. Oh, hear my cry. I know you love me, know you hear me, know you care for me. I know you love me, know you love me, know you love me, know you love me, God. My lips sing the song.
Well, good evening, Mosaic Church friends and family, those that are streaming from wherever you might be tonight. It is good to be with you. Each week over the next month and a half, really, we are walking through a piece of scripture found in the book of Acts. We're doing a series called House to House, the Power of a Scattered Church. And we're doing it because that is exactly what has happened. And so we're inviting you to watch this 10-minute devotional and then connect into a connect group. We have ones that meet at 7:30 p.m., ones that meet all the way till I think 8:30 p.m. tonight. You can go online, mosaicchurch.nyc, and we will make sure that you get in one, or you can just respond in this chat, and we'll make sure you get into a group later tonight. We couldn't encourage it more. In addition, before I dive into Acts 2:42 through 47, I want to make sure you are aware of a great opportunity this Saturday at 11 a.m. Though we have not been gathering in person, we continue to find new people that are intrigued and interested in joining Mosaic Church in the seasons to come. And so for those of you that are on the fringe, for those of you that are asking questions about a faith community and whether or not this is the right one for you, we host a virtual class this Saturday at 11 called Intro. It gives us a chance to share our story, introduce you to a few of our leaders, and gives you space and time just to ask your questions that you might have about our church community, what we do, why we do it, what we believe, why we believe it. And so with that, we dive into Acts 2, verses 42 through 47 tonight. It says this: They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles, and all the believers, they were together and had everything in common. Every day, they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes, and they ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. Got a little riddle for you tonight to begin. Combine water, dish soap, 2 drops of food coloring into an empty 2-liter bottle, and what do you get? Not much. Throw in some baking powder. What do you get? Still not much. A little bit more gooey, but still not much. Throw in a few drops of vinegar, and you know what you get. Yeah, you get the stereotypical 4th grade science experiment volcano. It erupts. That vinegar serves as a catalyst. Throw another riddle at you. What do you get when you have John Paxton and Scottie Pippen, 7-foot Bill Cartwright, Dennis Rodman, that weirdo? What do you get when you throw all of them together? Not much. But then all of a sudden comes along a North Carolina kid, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and all of a sudden that group has 6 championship rings. You can't underestimate the catalyst. The catalyst is the thing, the element, the chemical, the person that enters into an equation and creates a brilliant, beautiful total sum, and allows all those very essential ingredients, but normal ingredients, to become something they were never intended to become. That's what the catalyst does. Now, all that to say, we look at Acts 2:42 through 47, and we come with a bunch of different questions today. Some of us have the question, how do I get to experience God if God really exists? Some of us have the question, what type of church do I really want to be a part of? How does a church function really like the bride of Christ? Some of us have the question, how do I lead that type of powerful and impactful church? Or how do I lead an effective and powerful small group for God's glory and the flourishing of the city? And many times we ask these very important questions and we come back to this passage, Acts 2:42 through 47, as a blueprint for how we experience God, for how the church is all that it was intended to be, for how we're to lead and create and cultivate small communities or big communities. And we look at that list of ingredients. There's teaching. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching. Fellowship or community. Right? They broke bread in their homes. They ate together. There was a hospitality. They had everything in common. There was a unity. They gave to everyone as they had need. There was a charity. I want you to hear this list of ingredients. There is content. There is community. There is unity. There is charity. There is hospitality. But here's part of the problem as we chase those to answer our very spiritual questions. Here's part of the issue. There are universities all around the world that have great content. There are TEDx talks and podcasts galore. I love them. They are good. They are essential, but they're not the bride of Christ. They're not the church. They don't fulfill some of the promises that the scriptures talk about when it comes to the bride of Christ of the church. The one that says it'll push back the very gates of hell and it will join Jesus as it redeems and restores all that's unraveled because of shame and guilt and fear. There's community and fellowship all over the place. I know, pyramid scheme-like companies that sell juice or insurance that, have a good camaraderie and share all things in common. The same values and vision is strong and passionate. But it's not the bride of Christ. It doesn't push back the gates of hell to the degree that the church does. It doesn't join Jesus as everything that's unraveled because of shame and guilt and fear and sin is restored and renewed. There's unity out there. There's unity in political parties. Political parties are definitely important. They're definitely not the church, though. There's charity. But you and I know that I can give with a motivation of being seen as a giver. I can give to increase my platform in society. There's hospitality. Hospitality has been one of the main strategies for making allies and forging relationships that advance our safety and standing in society since agrarian times. Hospitality is good, but it's not the mission of the church hospitality, right? A Chick-fil-A's got great hospitality. It's something to behold, but it's not the church. It doesn't push back the very gates of hell. Not to the same degree. It doesn't help restore and renew all that's unraveled because of shame and guilt and fear and sin. You see where I'm going here. I'm trying to go there. You see where I'm going. The ingredients of content and community, the ingredients of unity and charity and hospitality are good. They're essential. To pursue them is worthy. And yet they miss something serious. Without the catalyst, they are just essential, necessary ingredients, but they are not sufficient to engage the bride of Christ and answer some of those tough questions that we have, like how do we change? How do we experience God's grace? How do we become the church we always intended to be? The Spirit is the catalyst. And so when we ask these questions like, how do I experience God? Or how do I choose a church that really is that powerful and impactful? Or what type of small group or church do I want to lead? We have to read Acts 2:42 through 47 in the context of Acts 1 and 2, where the Spirit of Jesus, who conquered death, who came for us, who pursues us out of love, that Spirit is the catalytic mechanism. It's the Spirit that moves content toward convicting, prophetic, transformative truth that pierces both joint and marrow, the book of Hebrews says. It's the Spirit that moves community based on affinity and likeness to communitas. That's what sociologists would call it, a community that's on mission for the sake of others. It's the Spirit that moves from unity that's based on affinity and likeness or ethnicity or socioeconomic category to a unity that's based in diversity, founded on the affection of God himself and the affection that we feel from Jesus. It's the Spirit that moves charity to radical generosity. It's the Spirit that moves hospitality to vulnerability and actually connecting ourselves and our stories with somebody else. This is the power of the church. But you can't detach it from the Spirit. And so there's a few questions I want you to wrestle through tonight. Which one of those ingredients do you hope will solve your questions as you try to experience God's grace and love? Which one of those are you prone to draw towards, use? Are you chasing knowledge and content? Are you chasing community and relationships? Where haven't they delivered for you? Secondly, and really importantly, why is it hard for us to surrender to the Spirit on a regular basis? What are some of the barriers? Your leaders in your Connect groups will have clear questions for you to ask, but I'm praying for you tonight. I want you to know that we are with you. We are for you. If you're checking this out for the first time, make sure you go to mosaicchurch.nyc. Join us this Saturday at our intro course, and may the peace of God be with you and go with you.